Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is episode 2 of The Couch Critics. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite movie, Hacksaw Ridge.
Okay, so first we're going to go in and we're all going to rate it like we did last week. So my opinion of the movie was it was pretty good. It's not what I expected from Gavin. I thought he was going to pick like a more lighthearted movie. But I'd probably rate it like an 8 out of 10.
My overview of the movie is pretty similar. I really like the movie he chose. I'm always into war movies, and I always thought they were the most interesting. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. This is definitely better than Gladiator by far.
I'd have to agree with Kyle on that. I think this definitely was better than Gladiator. I'd say I'd give this movie a 9 out of 10. I think it did a great job of like showing the emotion from the war and really getting into deep with.
I definitely have to give this a 10 out of 10. And, I was really struggling to, find anything I would change about this movie. But I just feel like this does a great job. It's a very emotional movie. I watched it for like the 4th time last night and I actually started crying. And it's just a great heartfelt movie, and the emotions in it are so huge and very inspirational.
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously a really good movie. I liked my movie better, but, it's kind of obvious. I think what I would change is it was really gory, which I think obviously it has its place because it's a war movie and everything. It's realistic, but it kind of makes me uncomfortable, so I didn't really like that part.
Yeah, I completely disagree with that. I actually think it was beneficial to the movie of how gory it was. It kind of explained like the emotions behind the death of people. The one thing that I would change is I wish he had a better relationship with his brother and going into the army. Like I wish they were together in that. It kind of could have shown a brotherly bond instead of just him going solo.
I just want to say that obviously it was necessary that it was gory. I just didn't like it.
Yeah, I could see that. Obviously, it's a war movie, so some people aren't gonna enjoy seeing blood and stuff. But I feel like they did a great job, and it's definitely necessary to really show what war is and what all those people had to go through.
Yeah, I don't really think it could be a war movie without gore. So
yeah, so I really don't think you could come on here and criticize that. But
that this actually happened.
Yeah, definitely kind of gave it a personal feeling, especially when they're interviewing the people at the end. I think it's just it kind of brings the emotions back and you're realizing this actually happened to somebody and these people. For me, my favorite scene was at the beginning, kind of his backstory when he hit his brother with the brick. He just kind of changed his whole life perspective on the war and hurting people, and he kind of just went into I need to help people and I need to be a better person, and he learned that from experiences in life.
Yeah, I agree with Cal there. That was definitely one of my favorite scenes too. Obviously, it's kind of when you first watch it, you're like, wow, but then as the movie goes on, you realize that that really bad moment shaped up his whole life. I have 2 favorite parts besides that one. I feel like when after he got jumped by everyone in his room, when the sergeant told him was just to pack up his stuff and was trying to get him to identify who jumped him, he was just oh, I can't pack up, and he refused to rat on whoever jumped him. I feel like that just shows his character and his heart, and it also shows no matter how bad he's treated, he still wanted to serve. And then my other favorite part is when obviously the sergeant was super upset with him and just annoyed by the fact he wouldn't carry any guns. And I'll admit he was being kind of a problem. But then when the war happens and then he's dragging out the sergeant on that just sheet of thing, that was definitely my favorite part because it's a full circle moment where he ends up saving the sergeant's life.
I really like that part too. And also going back to what Cal said, I also like the part where he took the gun from his dad, because that was really when he realized I need to hold myself to a higher standard and be better.
Alright, so my favorite part of the movie is when everything's kind of silent on the battlefield. It goes quiet and Desmond's just sitting there asking God what do you want me to do, and he hears somebody ask for help in the distance, and it kind of is like a turning point because he stops hesitating and fully commits to his purpose and like helping people.
What is it you want of me? I don't understand. I can't hear you.
I think we all agree that Matt's scene where he was asking God what to do. I feel like that's definitely.
Yeah, I feel like it's like the climax of the movie.
Yeah, it is a turning point.
Yeah. All right, so now we're gonna come together and rank this one on comparison to Gladiator, which was last week as well.
So I think Cal already said that it's better than Gladiator. I think it's better than Gladiator. So, and Celia said the Gladiator's better, so it's really up to Matt. So what do you think?
I think that Hacksaw Ridge was way better than Gladiator.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new number 1 on our list. Gladiator moves to number 2.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Couch Critics, where we reviewed Gavin's favorite movie, Hacksaw Ridge. Next week, we will be reviewing Matt's favorite movie, The Wolf of Wall Street. Goodbye.